Surprise, motherfucker. What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis. It's been a long Christmas break. Been a long time since I made a video. At least it feels that way. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be short or long. I'm just going to talk about a few things briefly. I don't know. This is kind of the end of the year. I mean, it is the end of the year. I didn't know what to do with this video. I didn't know if I should talk about what happened in 2022 or things in 2023 that are upcoming. I don't know. A lot got packed into this year, I feel like. Just with the whole industry and hobby and community. Everything from AI art to sort of announcement, spoiler, scandal stuff with D&D 6th edition, 1 D&D, how that's going to go down, and, just different projects. Encounter Critical came out, a week ago. That's doing pretty good on Drive-Thru RPG. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check that out or buy the PDF for $10. I'm planning on another Kickstarter campaign, but I'm keeping the topic of it under wraps until it actually releases. And I think it's going to launch January 11th. 1/11. So that's exciting. So yeah, obviously I can't talk, too much about that because it's, unmentionable as of now. What else? Got the Chult Game Jam happening. That starts New Year's Day, January 1st, and it goes to Valentine's Day, February 14th. Hopefully some people will participate in that. You can make whatever you want within the IP of, Chult and Alpha Blue. A friend of mine asked about Revelry and Torth. I said, sure, go for it. Counter Critical, that's fair game. If you have a question, just ask. But yeah, you can make whatever you want. I think it's probably most reasonable to assume that if someone's creating something, it's going to be an adventure or scenario of some type. I think that's probably a fair assumption. I mean, you could make a monster or a random table or a new game mechanic or something like that. And please do whatever you want to make is cool, and you can monetize it. If it's created within that 6-week open game license window, you can keep monetizing it after the game jam is over, which is cool, I think, and incentivizes people to create awesome shit. But yeah, the adventure I think is probably the most interesting and useful, but also time consuming and possibly the most difficult thing that people could create. So I came up with a little handy something for people that want to do that. And I encourage people to ask me questions too, either about this little thing that I'm about to show you or any other aspect of the world or adventure writing. Of course, I have Adventure Writing Like a Fucking Boss, parts 1 and 2. That's on Drive-Thru. A lot of my stuff you can also get softcover on Amazon too. So without further ado, I've got this little thing that I just wrote up. So at the top, you've got what I'm just calling God. And that's your big idea. That is like the central premise, the main driver of your adventure, what your adventure is about. If I ask you what your adventure is about, and you answer with X, Y, and Z, that's the tippy top of the pyramid up here. That would be the god, and then underneath that you've got the priests, and the priests are the movers and shakers, and they facilitate the big idea, and they try to make it happen or stop it from happening. They're a part of it. They're a big part of it. They're the VIPs of your scenario. It doesn't have to be characters. It could be other things. It could be monsters or magic items, vehicles, locations, whatever. And then underneath that, at the base of the pyramid, you have the followers. And that's pretty much everything else. So that could be, NPCs and random encounters, or monsters, or traps, or whatever else. Weather patterns, or loot that people find along the way, different encounters and moments and things like that. So I think if you just if you're trying to come up with an adventure for Chult or Alpha Blue or Encounter Critical or whatever, and you're struggling with the basics, the foundation, like just how to get started, I think this could maybe help you. First, you need a big idea. Then you need a way to gamify that big idea and actually make it happen in the game world. And that's what the priests do. And then everything underneath that, the priests and the gods' followers, down here at the bottom. So you need a lot of followers, a few priests, and then the one big idea. Usually you only want the one big idea. It can be interesting if you have multiple gods, multiple big ideas, and that means that either they're working in conjunction or they're fighting against each other, which could be, a lot of fun, a lot of drama, excitement. That could be a cool thing. But you don't want to have too many gods in a scenario, metaphorical gods, because then they will compete against each other. I mean, that's what gods and top dogs and that's what alphas do, is they fight and they compete and they struggle to not only survive but thrive and lead and conquer. So probably best if you just stick with the one big idea, and then below that you can facilitate that big idea with the priests, like I said, the movers and shakers, and then on down the line. So I think I've done that to death. Yeah, so I got the new Kickstarter coming up. Hopefully January 11th. It's under approval right now, so I should know in a couple days if that got approved. And that's going to be my 23rd Kickstarter, I believe. So I hope it's a good one, successful, and also fruitful creatively for me. They got the Chult Game Jam. Got that going. What else in 2023? I want to game master more in person. So I'm trying to find a venue, and I want to try to do an every other week 4-hour game, live, face to face, somewhere near me. And barring illnesses and catastrophes and vacations, holidays, I want I want that to continue through the year. I want to do a game at the very least every other weekend for the standard length of time, about 4 hours. And yeah, I hope that can be. I mean, that's gonna be Charles. Uh, it's obvious to me. It might not be obvious to you, which is why I mentioned it. And it's gonna be, yeah. Instead of isolated one shots, which I've been doing for the last few years, it's going to be like a campaign. It may not involve the same players all the time. It'd be cool if it was like sort of like a big campaign that players could like drop in and out of. Um, Not really like a West Marches, because I don't think there's going to be multiple groups at the same time. But I'd like to have a decent sized table of anywhere from like 7 to maybe even a dozen players um, at a time, and then yeah, whoever can make it that week, cool, and then whoever can't, hopefully next time, and it'll just be a consistent campaign. And yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, so it'll be nice to get back to that. Be nice to get in that kind of zone, that kind of gaming and play style, because it's slightly different from you know constant one shots and convention games and intros and demos and things like that I've been doing, as I said, for years. So I think with my schedule and all responsibilities and all the kids and everything, every other week is probably as good as I can get it, because I don't want to stop doing a bi-weekly movie night as well, with some of my guy friends. So we just kick back and watch, usually a guy's movie. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say about all that. Definitely ask me questions if you have any. I'm just kind of gonna try to keep doing what I do next year, and whether I'm outwardly successful or not, if I stick to what I want to do and I'm happy with what I create and what I've manifested, then I'm going to call that a success. Even if I don't sell as many books and I don't get as many players or as many games in as I want, and like let's say the campaign doesn't flow as smoothly as I would like, or I don't pick up any more subscribers on YouTube, and nobody else subscribes to my Subscribe Star page. I'll put that in the link down there too. As long as I feel like I've done my best and I'm I'm personally going in the right direction, I'm going to call that a success, because I think measuring yourself against whatever you throw against the wall and it happens to stick because of whatever reality says, um, I think that can lead to burnout and just a sense of, I don't know, failure in some cases. In some cases, stagnation or just not living up to your potential, but mostly failure. Um, Outwardly, if you don't do well and if you're not progressing by whatever standards are perceived or other people set for you, if you don't meet those benchmarks, you might feel like a failure, and that would be terrible, especially if you're going in the right direction. I feel like if you're going in the right direction even if you don't get very far, that's still like 1,000 times better than running a marathon miles and miles ahead of the game in the wrong direction. And I would strongly urge my fellow creators, content creators, or just people doing creative work in the role playing game sphere, to not get too burned out. Don't push yourself so hard that it's no longer fun and you're no longer motivated or passionate to like go out and do it. As long as you're making steady progress here and there in the direction you want to go, I feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's gonna have to be enough. None of us might ever see fame or riches or the kind of opportunities that we would like to see in our lifetime, but that's not why we do this. And when we get down to the foundation, you've got to do it for for yourself, the sort of self-actualization reasons, rather than doing it for money and fame and whatever else. That's always in the back of our mind. We live in a capitalistic society. So you're always thinking about, and I'm kind of echoing an idea I just heard on a video from a few days ago. Maybe it was Questing Beast, I don't know. But you always think in the back of your mind, like, well, this could be the one. Maybe it's RPG Pundit. I don't know. That something you create could be like the next big thing. I always have in the back of my mind, maybe the next Kickstarter will be like 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, 200,000. I mean, it's hard to even imagine, but the possibility is there, right? It's happened to people, and of course, you live long enough, and you don't you don't get those lucky breaks consistently, or maybe ever, and it's disheartening, and yeah, you feel like maybe it's never going to happen. Maybe it's not meant to be, and that's okay. You got to make your peace with that. You can still hope. Keep hope alive. Hope springs eternal. Good things will happen eventually, but we're not all going to be rock gods and movie stars, are we? Some of us are just going to keep tilling the fields creatively, and we'll just have to be happy with that. So be happy with what you got. Let's all try to be grateful, put our best foot forward, and just do what we got to do. And yeah, hope for the best. But don't be too crestfallen when a gold like treasure chests don't fall in our lap, I guess. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay, I rambled on long enough. That's it for now. Have a great 2023, everybody. Remember the links down below. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. All right, bye.